I am going to say I disagree on the court storming thing entirely. I have no problem whatsoever. The environment, you were there, I started to say last night.
I was not there.
Oh, I thought you went last night.
No.
Okay. I mean, we've had some people in the chat here today, some newcomers to the chat, and welcome, by the way, that said they were there, and just the emotion of the entire game. I mean, that was a basketball game. Was it a perfect basketball game? No. But in college basketball, there is no perfect anymore. You have so many transfers. You have so many guys coming in. I mean, look at Xavier. They're just trying to get their feet under them. I heard Sean Miller talking the other night on his radio show about how, you know, with so many guys not only coming in and guys being young, but then guys that couldn't get in even after practices had started, that he has been unable to put in a lot of things that he wants to do, especially on defense. He said, look, I can't throw 15 things at these guys because we won't be good at any of them. So what we've tried to do, this is paraphrasing with Sean Miller, he said we've tried to just incrementally, you know, even the day of a shoot-around, I'm going to talk about our full court press that we're going to start to put in more frequently after timeouts and after free throws. And it really, it struck me that, you know, that for those of us who just sit there and watch the games, there is so much more to it. And especially when you're trying to navigate college basketball. And look at this year, we'll start with Wes Miller's team. I mean, you had two big guys that you were counting on being an integral part of your team. Both had to wait. You basically have two freshman point guards in Jizzle James and Day-Day Thomas. Yeah, Day-Day Thomas played junior college, but he's playing in the Big 12 now, right? And so, you know, you got Frederick coming over. He's hurt. They've only used the same starting lineup 3 times this entire year. Recently, you've had Bandego out. You've had Frederick out. You've had young players that you're counting on stepping up like Skillings. And there are moments when he looks like he's one of the best players in college basketball.
Yep.
He does things that there are few players. He made 2 baskets last night. That there are few players in college basketball that can make those shots. But you just don't see it consistently enough. But he's still playing regularly for the first time. So, you know, that's true for both of these teams, for UC and X. But back to the whole thing. Look, it was an unbelievable game. Unbelievable game. TCU came out, looked like the best team that's ever walked on the floor.
Yep.
They're draining threes everywhere. They got 20 points in less than 5 minutes. And you're thinking, UC's going to get run out of the gym here. But they keep hanging and hanging. I tell you, Elliot, the guy I like more and more I watch him, and I said this a couple of weeks ago, is Newman. This guy's got a body. There are very, very few people. There aren't football players that look like this cat.
No, he's a beast. And I said it a while ago, but I really do think he's the leader of this team. And I've been looking for that for the first, 18 games into this season. I've been looking for a guy to take over. And not even with, like, points-wise, scoring-wise, but he's a phenomenal defender. He locks it down, locks whoever he's guarding. He locks them up. And outside of that, I think he's a senior. I think the fans love him. I think we all love him. He's a tough player. Nobody drives to the hoop stronger, faster, harder than John Newman III. I love him. And he had a career night. It was his career high in points last night against a very, very, very good TCU Hornfrogs team. The court storming thing, I'm going to talk about it more on Boxed Lunch, but they did not storm the court because it was ranked TCU at home. They did not storm the court because it was their first Big 12 game. They stormed the court because of what Tom said. If you watched the game, if you didn't watch the game, and I'm going to say this with love and respect, you have no reason to say anything about the court.
Hey, there's no doubt about it. That is you're 100% correct. These are one of those moments where if you didn't watch it, then you don't understand it.
There were 5 seconds left in the game. TCU had just missed the game-winning shot. We got a rebound, right? Dan Skillings got the rebound, fouled, an obscure foul to send us to the line with 3 seconds left. Misses them both. Our guy, Aziz, fouls them on an attempted rebound of the missed free throw. They go back to the line with 2 seconds left. They missed the free throw. We get it back. Half-court shot missed in overtime. This is just the last 5 seconds of regulation, not including what happened in overtime, which is a whole bunch of more chaos. That was the most stressful, emotional basketball game I've seen out of Cincinnati in a very long time. They did not storm the court because it was 19th ranked TCU at home. That is not why they did it. They did it because this team, this city, has been starving for UC to be good at basketball. Really, they have been. And after John Brannon, I say this with love and respect, but after he torched the program, we've been praying for Wes Miller to step up and rebuild this back up. We've been patient. It's been 2 years. This is the 3rd year. I've been frustrated with Wes at points in this season, especially when he said free throws don't matter, and I'll get into that in a second here too. But that was an emotional basketball game. The fans there, the city, the kids on the court, and that's who stormed the court, by the way. It's the student section, so give me a break a little bit. They stormed the court because it was an emotional game.
Oh, 60-year-olds weren't storming it.
I don't care that Xavier doesn't storm the court against anybody. That's your prerogative. That's fine. I'll take my $25,000 fine from the Big 12, and we'll move on. This is not a big deal. They storm the court. They have fun. God forbid sports are fun. Let's all pack it in and be curmudgeons when we watch college basketball. Give me a break. If you didn't watch the game, don't comment on it, because that was an emotional basketball game, and the kids were expressing their emotion. Should they have stormed the court? Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? Because it's not the point.
Right.
It was an emotional game. They all ran onto the court. Oh, well. We move on. We'll move on to Oklahoma on Saturday at 1 p.m. And if they beat them, storm it again. Because at this point, the outrage with the storming of the court is pissing me off more than anything.
I think Jack Butler is relatively new to the chat, and he talked about being here or being there at the game last night, and he said, point blank, he looks like he's a student, his picture anyway, if that's actually him. He says, the possibility of storming the court didn't even cross my mind until about a minute left in overtime. But look, there are issues they need to clean up, okay? I mean, it was a great win. There are issues they need to clean up. A, they missed too many layups. And B, their free throw shooting is just atrocious. It's just, that's one thing I've never understood maybe more than anything in the world. I know that some people are just better shooters than other people. But you can become a decent free throw shooter with very, very little help from other people. You just stand there and do it day after day. And I know they do it. I've been to the practices, going back to Hugs and going back to all these other college games. Every team does it. But I don't know how many teams really, or players really work on their free throw shooting. And we've just seen, last night they were lucky to win. Skillings misses the 2 free throws, right after we had seen Newman miss the free throws against Texas. They could be right now 3-1 in the Big 12 if you just make free throws. Forget all the other stuff. But it is fun to see them back and playing well. They go to, 13-4 now on the year. They're playing well in the league, the best conference without a doubt in college basketball. And, I mean, Saturday Oklahoma comes in. You turn around Monday night and go to Kansas. Oh.
This is the biggest stretch in UC basketball in the past, 20 years. I can't remember even in the Big East days when we had 6 straight ranked opponents like this, 3 of them on the road. And to get back, I wanted to touch on the free throw thing because it's pathetic. If I'm Wes Miller, honest to God, nobody's leaving the gym. They come into practice today, nobody's leaving the gym until they all hit 1,000 free throws because it's pathetic. You cannot miss free throws at the percentage that UC does. And Wes Miller said after the game, after the loss against Texas, that free throws don't matter. Free throws weren't the reason they lost. He might have just been defending John Newman after he missed the big one, and that's fine. That's a good coach. He's doing what leaders say. But listen, he said it. He said free throws don't matter. They shot 50%.
Well, now wait a minute. You keep saying that. That's, we talked about this now, Elliot. He didn't say free throws didn't matter. He said they were the reason they didn't. All he was doing there, we talked about it last week.
That's fine.
He was, and if you read the comments by John Newman III last night after the game, the only reason Miller said that was to try and comfort John Newman, who apparently was just a disheveled mess for 3 or 4 days after missing those free throws. He was really upset about it. And look, Wes knows his players. and he knows the situation. And he was just saying that those free throws did not cost them that game. And so I don't know if I totally – and then last night after the game, Newman says, hey, man, my coach has got my back no matter what.
And I give Wes props for that. I really do. But when I come in here and I have bad takes, I own them. I own up to them. Wes Miller, again, I know he was defending him, but he said they didn't cost him the game. Tom, what happens if he makes both free throws?
That's right.
So
Can't argue with that.
And that's what I'm saying. So when we consistently shoot, now this is 3 straight games where you're shooting 50% at the free throw line, and one of our press conferences, our head coach says free throws weren't the reason we lost games. It upsets me. It infuriates me because free throws matter. Doing the basic fundamental things matter. When I was watching Aziz Bandago yesterday turn the ball over like he didn't care at all, I was getting infuriated. They turn the ball over at a high rate. They miss a lot of free throws. If this team could settle down just a little bit and play up to the potential that I think they have, that they've shown this season, they are a tournament team. They are a bona fide tournament team. We know they're good. I know they're good. I know he might say otherwise, but I think it's a damn good basketball team. If you're able to do the little things right, you'll be fine. And that's what they haven't done yet so far. Again, I credit Wes Miller. I credit everybody. I don't mean to be disrespectful or mean. But saying that, if you got to do the basic things right. I can't have Aziz giving the ball out like candy to the other team. I can't have guys missing 2 straight free throws with 5 seconds left in a tie game. It can't happen, and it's inexcusable because that does cost you the game. TCU was terrible at the free throw line, too. They were 50%. He makes the 1 free throw with 2 seconds left. They win the game. It's no problem. Yep. So I just wanted to say that if you do the little things right, this team's damn good. There's a lot of stars on this team. Just take your time a little bit when you have the basketball.
Oh, what a great point by our host, Tom Brenneman. And boy, oh boy, can that Elliott be a little rascal. Well, if you like that video, please subscribe, like, comment, so more people can see it. Yeah, there's a video over here. One right here, too. See ya.